All right, welcome to the Pyramidical Podcast. John, what number is this?
Welcome to the Pyramidal Podcast. I think it's episode 12.
Yeah, something like 12, 12 and a half.
Episode 12.
How you been?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Just
It's
got back from
good.
vacation.
Jordan, we have as a special guest hanging out with us tonight, and who I think might be a recurring guest. We'll see how it goes. Um, on the Pyramidical Podcast, somebody I've known for a long time. We'll put her YouTube channel in or channels in the description of the podcast. Her name is Jordan Fall, Haunted Falls. I love her. I've
Paranormal.
known her. Paranormal Falls, Paranormal. Say hi, Jordan.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Good, good. We're good. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are y'all?
So for years, I've been telling backstage. I was telling Jordan. I was telling John that I've for years wanted to introduce them to each other because they're both ghost investigators, historians, and sort of into like genre stuff that I mean, despite my Lord of the Rings and of course other topics, but I always wanted to introduce Jordan to John. So this is really a great, um, precious thing for me. So I'm happy that you guys are here.
We're happy to be here.
Well, thank you for having us on. I mean, this is our podcast. So thanks for being on. Yeah, appreciate it.
I definitely appreciate it too. I appreciate you guys having me.
Jordan, have you ever watched any of John's videos?
I've watched a couple of them, the Halloween one and can't remember the one before it, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Have you seen his Back to the Future rap video?
Not the rap video, no, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna have to. That's definitely something I'll watch tonight.
It's one of the classics. It's, I mean, at a time without one. What is it called, John?
1.21 gigawatts.
Insane. The like when I
Oh,
saw,
I think you sent me that 10
I
years ago. Wait,
probably.
I have seen it. Now that
Hmm.
Woody said 1.21 gigawatts, yeah, you said it to me one time. Right, I
Yeah, I
have
did.
seen it. Yes, it was genius.
Right.
It was very catchy. I sent it to Brian actually.
Yeah,
That
well,
time.
Brian, who hopefully we'll have on, and John will get on famously, I think, because
Oh
they
yeah.
both are such the huge Back to the Future fans, and just like cool dudes. And Brian, yeah, he loves Back to the Future, So like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
You and
I
Brian will have
mean,
a blast, John. Just trust me.
yeah.
Trust us on this.
So I think this podcast might be coming together. It might be forming a little community. Maybe we'll see. Um, so Jordan, you live down in like Louisiana. I think it's
Yes,
fair to say.
Lake Charles,
And
Louisiana.
yeah, and you've lived there a long time, and you've been doing like, how long have you been like doing like you were ever since I've known you, you were doing ghost tours into the paranormal, into tarot card, into like all kinds of like really like just like Louisiana is a gumbo, if you will, or a stew of different traditions. You'll throw in a little elven magic here, a little historian Civil War stuff here, a little this here, and then you go out in these places and you put on your meter, you put on your
Mm-hmm.
electron. But I don't know what we'll talk about equipment
Oh,
because I
EMF
think
reader
and all that.
and my
And
SP7 spirit box.
right. And you do an amazing job. You put out like this week alone, I think Jordan put out 3 videos.
3, yeah. And the spirits mostly they've been talking through my actual mic through my phone. And I did not realize spirits could do that. And I talked to other paranormal people that I follow on TikTok and investigators, and they say, yeah, they do that. And I'm
Yes,
like,
and we talked
that's
about
what
that.
I've been
Yeah.
hearing.
Well, John can expand upon this. And I think the second to last episode before the Halloween episode, um, he talked about a spirit actually went into the device and sort of manipulated it because Well, we'll get into Frankenstein and why electrical currents are good things for demons. But John, didn't that happen?
Yeah, I asked a spirit if it could touch the microphone or touch any of the devices, and it ended up like flicking the microphone on an internal level. You could tell he was touching it like through the plastic closer to the electronics itself, which a
Oh,
human
wow.
couldn't really do, But they could do anything. I mean, they could almost do anything. But the
Oh, God,
problem
yeah.
from a
They can
skeptic,
even manipulate a phone. They can call you. Somebody
Exactly.
in Galveston had
Whoa.
that happen. Her ex-husband that had passed away the night before, actually, that she didn't know, actually called the Emporium and said, all you heard was Amber, Amber. And that was, sadly, Mr. John has
Whoa.
passed away, but that was his daughter's name. And it was, my Dash had the recording and we
Whoa.
heard it. It was the creepiest thing you ever did hear.
yeah, they definitely can make phone calls. It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. But
Really? You think so?
Yeah,
think
I've never
so.
had it happen to me, but I
I
agree
think
with
so.
it. It depends on how much energy they have pulled out of the air in order to do that. At least
I
from what
don't
I've
know.
heard.
That's interesting. Wow, I've never heard that.
I've seen them go through phones, going through every app and switching through everything. If the footage on the Skinwalker Ranch show is true, I don't know if you saw it, but the guy was showing his phone, and it looked to me like he was being manipulated on a possibly a spirit level. But they don't believe in spirits on that show, Skinwalker Ranch, so they want to make it aliens. Every episode, they want to focus on aliens.
I've seen the
Yeah.
Skinwalker Ranch. I know what you're talking about, John. Yeah, I know, you're right. They do. And I'm like, yeah, it's paranormal. I mean, aliens are beings. At least I believe they are too, like in spirit form. I mean, like
Yeah.
any other, like another spirit, as much energy you have, they can manifest into a being.
Well, yeah, any corporeal vessel. I think I
We
just
could be,
watched.
we could have lived many ourselves. Our spirits have lived many lives on planets before coming to this one.
Yeah, just from a ratings perspective alone,
volume.
their angle might be to get the Ancient Aliens fans. They can't drift away from the aliens too much. They got to focus on.
Yeah, it's true.
Very
You know
true.
what I mean?
But
Yeah.
I've researched into the Clown Motel, and the land it's on, that was Navajo territory in Tupola, Nevada, and the massacre that went on. I was like, no
Whoa.
wonder it's so haunted. And plus, it's got clowns in it.
Wait, what's this? What's this
You
place? Tell us
investigated
about
that
this.
Clown Hotel?
The Clown
Wait,
Motel.
John, do you know
Yeah, I've
about
definitely
this?
seen it. I've definitely seen it. I've never been there.
I never have either. I saw it on, I subscribed to Kelsey Davies on YouTube, and she and some friends of hers were there, and I'm like, oh my God. So I was diving, before Brant, we all jumped on, I was diving deep into the history. I got to do that. I'm a researcher.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so what? Wait a second.
There's just a creepy clown
Yeah.
themed hotel. I think it's across from a graveyard, isn't it?
It is, yes. It is across from, it's all Navajo graveyard where the massacred.
Whoa.
And a lot of them also died from a mysterious illness, I think in 1911, where the liver would like turn to stone, which they kind of passed off as pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I mean, just making a clown themed motel alone is going to attract negative entities.
Right. No kidding.
I agree with that one, John. Yes.
Yeah, I think Stephen King was really onto something with Pennywise the clown and how he made clowns sort of like these scary things, but he tapped into an archetype, which is like the smiling demon, the mocker, so reading demons often laugh at you and they like to mock you and
they do
and gossip about you and all these things, right? So so like the image of the jester or the I think this is why that Heath Ledger Joker and to some extent. And look at Nick C. Look at Jordan.
Yeah, I heard someone said the Joker is the devil, And then ever since then, I'm like, hey, I'm a fan of the Joker. I'm not
Me
a fan
too.
of the devil. You
I
know
would
what I
say
mean?
the Joker's the
Yeah.
devil. I would say because there's a spirit, a demon spirit called the Trickster. I think the Joker
Right.
likes tricks. I think the Joker's
That's
based
right.
off of the Trickster.
Amen. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think that's like the
That's what I
trickster is.
intuitively feel, and that's what
Well,
was my instincts. That's what was coming to me at the
so
time. Just now.
Jordan, you're from like. Can I tell you from the Delta South? What's the Delta like that? Are you
Deep
from like
South.
where Robert
Oh, not really.
Johnson? Like Robert Johnson, who was at the Crossroads. You know about the Crossroads at all? Like where the devil makes a pact with a musician so they can play really well.
Yeah,
Um,
that's in Georgia. The devil went down to Georgia. I'm
oh,
not
okay.
Georgia.
I don't know
I'm
where.
in
I
the
forget
next state
where.
over.
Yeah, he went down somewhere. But yeah, there's
But there has been rumors of the devil actually owning a house in New Orleans. There has been
no
stories. Yeah, there have been
really
stories. I have a book on it. It's in the
interesting.
bathroom. I think it's in there.
I'd like to ask you about maybe someday I'll show you John has done amazing work of this guy Robert Morneau, who was like a French Canadian Montreal occultist turned Christian, and we want to find out where this place was. We had John narrowed it down to a certain area in almost the Golden Square, but a little remote from Montreal, and who this jazz singer was. I think I'm just going way off on a tangent. I'm just thinking out of my mind. So I'll send that
It
to
happens to
you.
both. It happens to the best of us, Brandon. I get on a tangent myself.
No, you have amazing intuition. That's why I brought you on here without repercussion. Like I'm very selective of people I bring on here.
Oh yeah,
Um,
my intuition's been strong for the past 3 days. Like I had felt like with Lizzie Borden, I felt like she didn't do it, and I was watching
hmm,
Kelsey Davis just now, Seth Borden, who's related to her.
interesting.
Yeah, Seth did. Lizzie, do you think Lizzie did it? He said no, but he believes that it was kind of a three thing between Lizzie, her sister, and their Uncle John. Like they planned it, but Lizzie
Yeah.
never. And I
Well, it's an
believe she
interest.
did. I believe she never swung the
So
axe.
I think we should do
So
an
that
episode.
confirmed that I was right.
Well, I mean, I just went to the Lizzie. We do a field trip to the. I'm a teacher, so we do a field trip every year to the Lizzie Borden house in Fall River. We're Fall
Oh,
River,
that's right. You're in
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. You're not too far from it.
Oh, I'm not that far at all, me
Fall,
lady.
not fall for Fall River. Fall River.
Not fall, and you're Jordan
Sorry, I
Fall.
couldn't get the words out. I need some water.
Fall. I'm fall from fall, but
I'm Jordan
I'm
Fall from
falling.
Fall. Yeah.
I'm
Johnson, you said Robert Johnson. See, it's not the devil went down to Georgia. Robert Johnson is from Mississippi.
okay.
This predates that pop song. I know it's kind of an antique
Gotcha.
pop song at this point, but
Huh.
Robert Johnson's from Mississippi, the Delta region of Mississippi, and the tourist-friendly location is the intersection of Highway 61 and 49 in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Wow.
Is the mythological location for the crossroads.
Fascinating. Because
Cool.
in
So it's in
Bob Dylan,
Mississippi.
yeah, Bob Dylan in a lot of his lyrics refers to Clarksdale, and I always wondered why.
You mentioned Back to the Future. Just in Japan, the release date for Back to the Future was it was on the 7th, November 7th. That's why they celebrated it in Japan recently.
Oh, really?
And at the Don Quixote store, which is a very popular store in Japan, they just had a collaboration with Back to the Future, and they released like the cool cassette player that Marty McFly uses, and he's playing like Van Halen on it, and
Yeah, of course.
they released.
The license plate.
Yeah, I wanted to get that 2015 California license plate
It's
because
a raised barcode. Why is that different from all the other ones I see on
they've never
eBay?
released an official 2015 plate.
Ah,
It's always unofficial. If you go online, it's always unofficial. But I've seen the real plate from the movie. I've seen the actual.
really?
Really?
Because in Hollywood, Universal Studios, if you've ever been on the ride, which they've now tore down, and now it's the Simpsons ride. But
Oh, I love
before
that.
it was the Simpsons ride, when you walked in line, they had all these props behind glass. And as a kid, I assumed they're all replicas, right? They weren't. They were all the original props behind glass. So I got to see a lot of the props really close up. I saw the 2015 jacket. I saw the plate, all kinds of stuff. And I'm sure the paper stuff was replicas, but they even had the handlebars for the hoverboard that you could touch. And I held on
Whoa.
and I touched. I didn't know it was the real thing. They had it.
Wow, I bet that was a dream
They
come
had it.
true.
No, this is why I needs to talk to Brian. You know.
They had it sitting in
Oh
a
god,
box.
Brian would be fangirling right now.
Well, there was like this how movies were made room, and it was kind of like a nothing room, but they would have feature a different movie, and they featured Back to the Future, and they had the handlebars and some original props like the bag from the Blast from the Past and antique shop, and real things that looked like replicas, but they were the real things.
Wow.
And then, of course, employees and whatever the case kind of got access to them and sold them. And some dude bought like a stack of hoverboards for nothing, like $1,000, and then he sells them for like $10,000 a piece because they're original hoverboards, you know.
Wow.
So that guy got rich fast, and he started his own company called Screen Used. You probably heard of Screen Used.
Wow.
The Screen Used guy got tons of Back to the Future props for dirt cheap nothing because he knew somebody that worked at Universal.
Yeah, and you have a special hat. Tell our listeners about this Marty McFly hat that you. Is it over there? Can you have it on hand?
I can find it. I think it's pretty close by.
So Jordan, I'll give a little prelude for our listeners. John hates how I explain things, but I'll say John got this hat. It is a Back to the Future hat. You know how Marty McFly wears that Technicolor hat?
Yeah.
It like changes color. It's like he wears a hat and the vest and the Nikes. So John actually has a hat made from the same garment, I believe. He'll explain it. It's a very rare garment that they only use once, and then they reproduce that hat many times over, and people bought it. But John's is super original. It's made from the same garment, leftover garment that they made as prop hats. So it's essentially a prop Marty McFly hat. John has been to Marty McFly word conferences, you know. Wow. He's been to like Back to the Future. I forget what was it. He'll tell us when he gets back, but Back to the Future like holidays. If you watch his video for 1.21 gigawatts, he made all the props for it. He made the cassette player, like everything's in a sports almanac. He has sports almanac. Like he is like, when I think Back to the Future, I think John. I think a few other people too, of course, right? Like I think Brian. But John is like on top of it. And I mean, to the extent of like, you know, like the detailed things. And like you can see that in his video, like where like every single word is a prop in that movie, you know? Like he even has like the big camcorder that Marty is filming Doc Brown in the mall parking lot, and then how the Twin Pine Mall becomes a Lone Pine Mall, you know, and things like that. It's just you got we'll put that in the show notes, I hope, as well. Figure that out, AI.
I found that.
Anyway, oh, nice. Oh, there it is.
I wish I could. I might have to put a light on it. It really only works because in the show business, they're going to have a million spotlights on it, you know. Right. But it looks like the one they sell modernly, but it's not. The inside has red silk. So only the red silk on the inside ones, and the brim has the black piping. Which
oh my god, that sounded graphic.
They did it only for the gift shop.
It is holographic. That's a good way to say it.
But you can see it's stamped on the side, Universal Studios, Florida. So this one came from Florida.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I thought it was the coolest thing in the movie, and I was wow. The fact of actually looking at it.
It took me a long time to find this one because they sold them like in 1992, 93, 94 for 5 seconds, and they sold out. And they never made them again because it's from the original Ream. When Universal ordered the materials, probably from China, because even back then only China would make this stuff. China said, "Oh, you have to buy, 40,000 yards or whatever the minimum is." They always have a minimum, and it was some huge amount of yards. So they had leftover yards, and they used it for these Universal Studios gift shops only. And then when they ran out, they never made it again because they ran out of the original reams. And then, of course, they have modern versions, but this is the exact coloring of the Michael J. Fox, Marty McFly. It's a specific coloring, a specific material. It's lenticular, holographic, and but the color is specific. It's the you see the ones that they reproduce today. They have too much yellow in them. They have too much green in them, and there's a bunch of yellow and green in the new ones. But these ones are really. You can see they're really blue and purple and pink.
Wow.
Red.
Yeah, it's
Wow, that is
different.
cool.
It's a different shade than the ones you see in the gift shops because it's the original material. Not from
Wow.
but from the original.
Hey, I'll give you $10 for it.
No.
I
did see. I've been watching eBay for like 10 years to see if another one would pop up, and I did see one pop up like maybe 3 months ago, but he was scratched really bad.
Oh man,
scratches all over it, and I think it sold for $40. I didn't want
really?
it. It had too many scratches on it. Mine's in pretty good condition.
I'll give you 100.
No.
A C note.
It's worth more than 100.
I'll give you 110.
It's probably worth in the neighborhood.
This is unpriceable. No way.
Probably worth $500 to $1,000.
I would never want to take it from you.
But I don't want to sell
it. No.
That's an heirloom.
Jordan, what do you have? You have a bunch of cool stuff. What do you have on your neck? You have something cool. What is that? The Even Star?
Arwen's Even Star necklace.
Oh, cool.
Beautiful.
I got it from the Noble Collection. I've had it for 23 years, and I finally brought it out again to wear because I felt like it, and I've been getting back into, since my divorce, I've been getting back to what was me again, and I just felt like I need to get back to the Lord of the Rings again. I've been feeling that for a while, and Sea Witch magic, which I've been doing. So today was Lord of the Rings Day.
That's beautiful. I think Lord of the Rings is such a powerful story because of that, because it connects to every aspect of your life, and
it really does.
And like people criticize him for not writing powerful female figures. But if you look
they did because Arwen wasn't like, she was in the book, but she wasn't a major character in the book like she was in the movie.
Exactly. But still, like the thing is that like she's a powerful character.
Oh yeah. They made her to a girl boss.
Galadriel is a super powerful character.
Oh, Galadriel is more of a girl boss. Eowyn is way more of the girl boss over them.
Eowyn, who is the only person who's an Anglo-Saxon, by the way. Eowyn means shield maiden. Yeah. So she kills the Witch King. Yeah, exactly. The Riders of Rohan, right? So she kills, and I have just so everyone knows, I have my 2001 Lord of the Rings, Abercrombie and Fitch. That's right.
Yeah, I cannot believe it's been that long since that came out.
Abercrombie and Fitch, me in a 2001.
24 years. That shirt's 24 years old.
So, but remember, it came out like 2 days after September 11th.
It did. I remember
it was called The Two Towers. But so anyway, I'm a huge Tolkien fan, so we're talking about that. The Even Star is something that that Arwen gives to somebody
Aragorn.
else, and
Aragorn.
then somebody gives it to Gimli. So it even starts a necklace that grants them passage to Valinor, which is like heaven,
Yeah.
sort of like.
Yeah, because
Um,
the stones are actually made from the heavens.
mhm.
I forget what the woman did, but anybody who touched the stones, like evil or man, it was said to burn. The stones itself was said to burn the
Yeah.
flesh. But
Oh, really?
Aragorn's it never did.
Speaking of which, I wanted to show on the I mean, we could call this segment Tolkien time, but I got this recent book, which is very affordable, very high quality. It's called The Illustrated World of Tolkien by David Day, and it comes in this beautiful. It's only like $20, and you get this beautiful hardcover. Okay, and it's right from Amazon. I'm not. He doesn't pay me. I don't know who this guy is. I kind of know who he is. He's put out a lot of different books before, but every page is illustrated with just amazing works and some little vignettes and stories about things that relate to Lord of the Rings. But every single page is filled with original art from all kinds of Tolkien artists with little write-ups about mythological. The Vikings are in here. Beowulf is in here.
Oh, I
Asian
love Beowulf.
philosophies, and it's just full of so much beautiful stuff for $20. These are great to look at, just to like to browse. So you can pick up any page in this book, and I can look at it and read it, or look at it and it will be profound. And the other one is this, which is I don't know if many people know that it's called the Father Christmas Letters by J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't know if I can get a good shot of that. The light is kind of glaring, but it's a hardcover. And what Tolkien did, he was such a big fan of Christmas and the joy of Christmas that he actually composed these letters very intricately to fool his children that Santa Claus was real. So when they would write to Santa Claus would respond as Father Christmas. And he would actually bribe the mailman to say to the kids that, yeah, this is from the North Pole. And he created this whole mythology. And it went on for it went on for years and years. So these are the collections from 1924 when he started writing them to his kids. And he did it all through. He did. I mean, elves are in here. Like he expanded upon like the whole universe, the Shire. Like we can see the beginnings of like Lord of the Rings and stuff. But they're actually Christmas cards. And it was just done for his family. And it's something Christopher Tolkien shared just as like a cool gift.
Did he ever write a Christmas book?
I mean, he translated Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which was made into an A24 movie by Robert Eggers, the director. But
I forgot that Gawain was.
Yeah, so he translated that, which takes place in Christmas, but he never really wrote like a sort of like a Christmas carol like Dickens or something.
Sounds like he would write some pretty good Christmas.
That's a good point.
Folklore,
I mean, Christmas. That's an interesting point, John, because Christmas, even in Lord of the Rings, and I think in the whole, even that legendarium, is an important day even for the hobbits, and they don't even know why it is. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So, but no, he never really wrote like. You're right. Like he would have written. That's a very good point. Because of the Father, I think the closest we have is this, the Father Christmas Letters. But what an imaginative person, compared to George R.R. Martin.
No, I think he was like the different languages he created as proof that he's pretty genius. I'm sure you're familiar with the summoning of a spirit. And he got the Enochian language, Dr. John Dee.
Oh, John Dee, yeah.
So John Dee, okay, yeah.
Really, Edward Kelly really wrote it down. Or was it the other way around?
No, you're right. Yep.
Dr. John Dee wrote it down. Yeah, maybe Edward Kelly's the one mentioning it, and Dr. John Dee's writing it down. But Dr. Dee made a deal with the spirit, which you should never do, really. That's not a good idea. But the reward was the Enochian language. And to this day, people say, "Oh, a human couldn't have done that," but J.R.R. Tolkien could have done it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
Yep, Tolkien did it.
that's a
I
good
think he
point.
did it. First,
so
I mean, he did. Tolkien did call it like Quinian and Siderian, close to Welsh.
I do believe Dr. D did communicate with spirits via Edward Kelly. I think it's real, but
Oh no, I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing. I agree.
There's always going to be, from a skeptic's point of view, of course someone could have, but was Edward Kelly a genius like Tolkien? I mean,
I think so. I think you're right. That's a really good point because linguists are highly sought after. And if you like, for example, this is something I never hear really rarely talked about is the links between royalty and magicians. Like, if you go to look at any high court throughout history, whether it be Queen Elizabeth the First to King Solomon to whatever, they always employ a magician or high priest, right? So they have to rely on that person for different things. And so it's a very sacred position in some ways. So you got to wonder, like, who are those people now and what are they? Who were they in the past? We know who they were, sort of. We have highlights of like these sort
I
of
know.
people who influence for one reason or another that come along, and I don't know, it's very strange, but
yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I
mean,
believe we can also get downloads from the higher realms, and a lot of our books and that, like science fiction to fantasy and magic, like some of the books I have, like On the Edge series by Lona Andrews, where they talk, and J.C. Befford, where they talk about how they draw the magic inside of them, and they can, you know, cast electricity out of their hands and make these things called witch lights. And I just believe, I think that their worlds are not as fictional as this 3D realm claims them to be. I believe there is some truth to all of that, some physical truth.
yeah.
I think magic was on full display with the Egyptians. I think they worshipped the Egyptian pharaohs because they saw actual magic.
Yeah, definitely.
Staff to a snake to a staff. I mean, that's real magic. You know, I mean, that's pretty.
And I actually remembered having a past life in
Hello.
Egypt, and I was a sorceress. I think it was in the second where I remember it was second dynasty. And that was a pretty powerful one too.
Yeah.
One of many past lives I do remember.
Yeah, I think the Egyptians, I mean, even if you go back to the Bible, you read about the Pharaoh and Moses, right? In Exodus. And you read about, like, I always read the Bible, but because it's such a magical tome on one level. You know, I read, and so there's a point where Moses challenges one of the magicians that Pharaoh has. So we know that magicians, the court magicians, existed for like centuries and centuries, and like even Merlin could be considered a court magician. What do you have there? What kind of Red Bull is that, John? That looks like a rare sort of like color. I
Brand
don't know.
new.
Some of my students are really into that.
Fiji apple and ginger.
Oh, is it good with ginger?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, if you
Is it
don't
healthy?
if you don't like ginger, you might not
I love
like it,
ginger.
but it's very faint ginger. It focuses on the Fiji apple.
Okay.
You can barely taste the ginger. It's pretty good. It's not bad. It has niacin, vitamin B12, vitamin B6. That's pretty good stuff.
It's good. Yeah, ginger's really good for your stomach, you know. It's actually good for all illnesses and stuff, you know. Ginger root, actually, you know, if you ever want to like cure a cold or whatever. But yeah. So anyway, what else is going on? Well, I just saw Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which I'll have a lot more to say about that.
Just take it
I
up.
had to go rescue my cat.
Okay.
So John, what's your favorite? What cool places have you been ghost hunting? Like, what's your favorite places to have been?
Hollywood Boulevard. Just the where all the stars are on the ground. It's over the top, super active with spirits at 1
Oh,
a.m. At
I
12,
wouldn't doubt.
12 a.m. to 2 a.m. Over the top, so active that I thought my devices were malfunctioning. You know?
Were y'all by yourselves there, or were there people
Yeah.
walking around?
Well, I was by myself. I walked an hour one direction and an hour the other back. So it was a 2 hour walk. And from 12 to 2, there's going to be homeless people. There's going to be people closing up their shop. There's going to be a couple of Scientologists closing up their shop. There's going to be there's going to be a street cleaner guy. There's going to be some street performers walking home, whatever. There's only a few,
Right.
maybe a few people from the clubs are walking home, trying to find a cab. It's
The Viper Room being
pretty,
one of them.
there aren't too many people. Although one time it was like 2 a.m. on Hollywood Boulevard, and I saw like 6 furries walking down the road in their costumes. So I don't know. They came from a special club. I don't know.
I bet that was a sight.
Yeah, it was actually pretty scary because at 2 a.m. a gang of foxes and dogs and cats, they're kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I would agree. I'd be freaked out too.
Yeah, I didn't know. They just walked by me. They didn't bother me.
Ghost Adventures did a episode of the Viper Room, and it's right where River Phoenix was, literally where he passed. It's when my psychic abilities were coming and my empathic skills, and I felt everything River was going through at that point when
So you
he
went there?
was
Did you go
like.
there?
I've never been there, but I could feel it. I can feel things sometimes from stuff I'm watching, and I'll see things, and it's
Been to
like
the Viper Room.
psychic sensory.
Yeah, I've been to the Viper Room. I've been there.
Yeah, it was owned by Mickey Cohen, one of the lethal mobsters, and he owned Ciro's, which is now the Comedy Club.
Yeah, I didn't know it was owned by Mickey Cohen. Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was owned by Mickey Cohen.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did go there, and I had a bottle of cider, and I talked with the bartender, and he was the bass player for Scott Weiland's band.
Yes.
Wild
Yeah,
About.
him. He's still there?
Not Stone Temple Pilots, but the Wildabouts.
Yes, what about?
As far as
Yeah, he's a little bit skeptical on the whole paranormal thing. Not that he doesn't believe it, but he also doesn't disbelieve it.
As far as the Viper Room, I think they closed it down. I mean, I heard they were closing it. I would have to double check, but I heard it's closing pretty soon, and this was a couple of years ago.
Okay, I'd check. Like the website said it was still open, but
Is it still open? I hope it is, because
I hope so
cool.
too.
It was a pretty cool atmosphere. I hung out, but you could tell that it's a little. I don't know. There is a little depressing vibe going on, and
yeah, just feeling what River went through with the overdose. I was like, I don't want to have an up or downer mixer anytime soon. That was just, it hurt so bad. When I tell you it hurt me, I was literally on the ground in pain. And my husband at the time was trying to get me to breathe. That's how bad.
Yeah, I was sitting at the bar and some tourists came in and they asked, "Where did River Phoenix die?" And I was like, "He died outside, not inside. He was on the sidewalk outside." And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I paid homage to him on Halloween.
Odd question, but yeah, I'm sure they wanted to pay their respects, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would, if I was there, it's one on my bucket list that I want to go, and one day I will get there because my intuition has pulled me to Hollywood. It's pulled me there, but right now, financially, I cannot get there.
Well, you don't have to worry about physically getting there because Hollywood is not inside of Hollywood, other than the physical buildings and streets.
I was pulled to like Jonathan Brandis's old apartment, and I feel as there was a dark entity there, and that picked at him because of his depression, and that was his undoing. I don't think he did it on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me look that up.
Alright.
Let me see if they're still open. I
Oh,
heard
I
they were
bet.
closing, you know?
We were
Can you
talking
guys
about the
hear me?
Viper Room.
It looks like they are still open. So maybe it's just a rumor that I heard they're closing. Maybe they got a new owner. Maybe someone revamped
The
it.
intern owner on Ghost Adventures seemed pretty cool. He's the manager that runs it. So he seemed pretty nice.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
met the manager. I just met that bartender. I don't know if he still works there.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And they said something about a guy named Anthony Fox had disappeared. I think he was one of the owners with Johnny Depp, right when around the time River Phoenix had met his untimely end. But I felt with Anthony Fox that he was kidnapped and dumped somewhere else.
I never looked into it. John?
Well, I don't know about that guy. I don't know anything about it.
Well, they said he disappeared and he did a Jimmy Hoffa.
Okay.
So he sleeps with the fishes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I wouldn't personally Sylvia Brown it and just throw out that someone's in a ditch. I would try to do more research. I mean,
Yeah, I just kind of sense it.
I can
That's all.
respect that. I can respect that, but I mean, you can't stone cold say it's a fact, though. I mean, sometimes it's not.
No,
You know what I mean?
no, agreed.
Yeah, the bartender did let me sense if there's any ghosts. He wouldn't let me use equipment, but I went to the bathroom and I walked around, and he was about to let me in the basement when the owner showed up or his boss showed up. I don't know who it was, but his boss showed up and he's like, "Oh, we're not going to the basement right now." And I was like, "Okay." But I kind of wish I went back because that guy was cool. He would have let me in the basement,
Yeah. I would have loved to see that. I wonder what kind of spirits are in the basement of the Viper.
He was just gonna get a keg. That's just where they keep the kegs,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Zach said something dark was lurking in the basement. One of the ladies had a spirit of a woman attached to her, and she would actually text her on her cell phone. The spirit.
Oh wow. Yeah, Jordan knows a lot. Jordan, you watch the same shows. You watch like Ghost Adventures and stuff.
Yeah, Spirit
Right.
Stalkers was one of my favorites with Chad Lindbergh and John Tenney. They actually taught me how portals are formed, and I found one. I saw a lady. I was painting one night, and I had finished it. It's very meditative for me.
Mhm.
And I went outside to check on one of the cats, and I was facing the light was on, the overhead light was on, but I was facing my dad's whatchamadoodles, his shop, and my third eye and my crown chakra connected, and because there was nothing in front of me at first, and then for a nanosec, right when it connected, I saw a woman dressed all in white, a white gown. At least she appeared to be a woman, and a long braid all the way down, white hair, long train on the dress. And when she turned, it was just this demonic face.
Eesh.
And I had to question. I was like, am I really seeing that?
Wow.
And then I got drawn to the woods, and we do have an electric, Lofton Electric in the back, the power company. And Chad said that portals can form where electric power plants are, water, which we
Interesting.
do have a ditch,
Interesting. Yeah.
and train tracks, which we don't have any train tracks, but we have these two key elements of electricity and water.
Huh. They really said that, huh?
They did.
So they're right about some stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think portals can
I
form
don't know if they were right, but it's my intuition kind of had connected with it, so I'm just going with it right now.
Yeah.
For now,
John?
until I meet anybody else who knows any different.
What were you gonna say, John?
I just think portals can form anywhere almost, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's what my friend Tabitha said.
Happens, or something horrific didn't happen in a very occupied place and a very inoccupied. I think anything, anywhere on planet Earth, there could be a portal. Technically, I mean,
I don't know. Even a
Yes.
vortex can form anywhere. There's one in my parents'
Wow.
garage that's forming. Not that I'll tell them about it.
Yeah. Suffer parents. Anyway, I wanted to. We're not funded or what is the word sponsored by anything, but I did procure. We always do. What are you drinking tonight? What are you
Oh,
eating? So
what are
John,
you
last
drinking?
time. So tonight, I know John had this crazy Red Bull. I think was ginger and what was it?
Fiji apple and ginger.
Fiji app. That sounds actually pretty good. Red Bull, and I might try Red Bull. I've only had one Red Bull my entire life, but it was a blueberry, and it's called La Ville Ferme, and it's a French blend, and it's very inexpensive. This maybe like $8 tops. You know, I used to get it for like $6. Um, but it's very smooth. It's a blend of really good wine, and it's just my top wine. So I have to let it breathe for a little bit, but I want to give a toast to everybody here.
Toast.
Jordan has her mint julep or whatever it is, you know.
I gotta get
water.
something. Now you
All right,
got
John's
that.
gonna get some.
I want to get my mead.
Yeah, John's gonna outdo me with his amazing mead, Icelandic mead
Oh
that he got.
man, now I
So
wish
I'll
I
wait
had
for
some
John's.
wine,
I'll wait for.
but
I'm gonna let this breathe a little bit. So
Yeah, let me get
not
it.
until I can't
I'll
have it
be right
until
back.
April of next year.
is that right? Yeah, you
Mhm.
gotta stay clean. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry
Yep.
that
No,
I'm
you're
doing
fine.
this. But it's good that
It happens.
that
But I can walk by an alcohol aisle and not feel pulled to it.
exactly. So you don't need to alcohol to have fun. I don't.
No,
I never had a problem. I always thought it was like it went well with food, wine,
no, yeah.
and
Well, that's how I used to think, and now it's
you know,
like, oh god.
yeah. And I think some people tend to use it a bit too much, but in moderation, it can be okay. But yeah,
Yeah, I'll be back to moderation as soon as I get everything else back. But I could get a
you will.
hardship and
I know you
work.
will. You're a good person. You're gonna be fine. I know you will. And if
No, I'll be fine.
you're gonna be absolutely fine, so.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
recommend drinking. Drinking's not good. Don't do it, kids. It's bad.
yeah, please.
But
So
here,
this,
not sponsored or anything. But here is Odin's Skull, and I like it. I think it's pretty good. I've had probably 5 different meads, and this is my favorite, to be honest.
Can I tell you a bit about mead a little bit?
The honey
Yeah,
wine.
But the honey is from. Do you know how honey is formed? Everybody knows from
that's
bees.
from bee vomit.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the it depends on what kind of flowers the bees feed on. They'll excrete that type of nectar, and it has different properties and taste. So the Icelandic bees are going to be really interesting. In Egypt, they set up different bee farms up the whole Nile River, and so each of them had different medicinal properties throughout the seasons. And very specialized doctors would excrete that mead or honey because actually, you know what honey is a perfect preservative. You can drop a little mushroom in a honey and it will remain intact for hundreds and thousands a year. Well, maybe thousands. I don't know how long, but it will preserve it. They still find things in honey. So honey and bees are very sacred to a lot of different cultures. But yeah, there you go.
Okay, this does say product of Denmark, just so you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
but that's just, the Danes and the Denmark is actually where Hamlet takes place, and
Yeah,
it's
it does.
from Shakespeare, and something's rotten in the state of Denmark. Everybody's heard of. So anyway, but yeah, they have mead, and they're very closely linked to the Anglo-Saxons and people like the Rohirrim. The Rohirrim are basically Anglo-Saxons with horses, because the Anglo-Saxons did not have horses. And that's why they were taken over by the French, the Norman conquest of 1066. So the Rohirrim are led by a guy named King Theoden. Theoden is under the spell of a guy named Wormtongue, Grima
Hey,
Worm.
wait a second. I got a
Yep.
phone call.
Okay.
I got to get this phone call real quick. Wait a second.
Okay, no problem. Yep.
Hello?
Yo, Big Dog #1 here.
Yeah.
By the way, your podcast sucks, 6-7.
Hey, that's not nice.
FYI, as the CEO of the Illuminati, my main job is to eavesdrop on every podcast worldwide as they're being recorded. So I'm forced to listen to your piece of garbage, even though I don't want to.
Yeah.
This is the second worst podcast on the entire flat earth, 6-7. We call your podcast the PP, as in pitiful podcast. Your P-pod is worse than the string beans pod called peas in a pod.
He's saying some pretty bad stuff, Brandon.
Uh-oh.
He's calling this podcast the PP. I don't know why he's saying, oh, yeah, okay, because it's the Pyramidical Podcast. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
PP is the worst. Your pod is horrible.
Well, that's rude. All right. It's the CEO of the Illuminati, by the way.
Oh, geez.
That
That guy again?
Oh God.
Can you tell him?
He's not a big fan of the show. He doesn't like it. Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada.
All right. Yeah, he wants more flat Earth theory. All right. Is that what does he want? What does he want now?
What do you want, huh?
Despite your podcast being the second worst ever, we still want to offer you $1 million if you become living advertisements to our products.
Well, we're not going to take the $1 million. We
No.
don't sponsor anybody, ever. Well, I mean,
1 million cold hard cash in non-fungible tokens just to push our ads on your pitiful amount of viewers.
maybe. If you have a good product that we appreciate and you send us a
Right.
case for free, then we'll consider it.
All you gotta do is tattoo a QR code on your forehead and your G2G.
Yeah.
Your podcast sucks.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Oh. So, but salute to you guys. Cheers. Whatever drink you
Cheers.
have. Mm.
Man, this stuff's kind of strong. It's 19%.
Yeah. This is
I used to
wine.
have
So
a
it's only
bottle
like,
need. It was the Texas Renaissance Festival sells the bottles every year.
yeah. This wine gets better the more it breathes. So, you know, the more you have it out there, you can see it's very like you can't tell in the bottle, but it's a very like light red. So it's a nice French blend. If you ever see this, grab some.
Just
Oh,
to let
well,
you know,
yeah.
like my brother said, he'd listened to the podcast, the Halloween.
Oh yeah. He must have hated me.
The
Who's
last
that guy?
episode, the Halloween podcast. My brother said he finally. I never asked him to. I never told him it even
Oh
existed.
no.
I never told him I've ever done a podcast in my life. So he's like, I listened to your podcast yesterday. He's like, what, did you just film it? How did you do that? I was like, I filmed it a week ago, and you weren't supposed to listen to any of it because you're not supposed to see me doing shots. I mean,
The one show that he sees
the
is
one
that
episode.
one.
Like, I've been doing videos for like 10 years straight, and I've never done shots.
Zero ever.
And the
Yeah,
one episode I do shots, my brother tunes in.
that is
It
hilarious.
happens. It'd be like that sometimes.
It's true. What's the
It's
luck?
like
But
our
what did he?
family
What
members
else?
get us at the most awkward moments.
That's so funny. He must have.
Yeah.
What do you think of? What did he think of me? He must have been like, "Who the heck is that? Like, why is he?
well,
Like, you know."
I mean, he didn't say anything negative, but he
That's
just
cool.
insinuated that I know what you did last summer, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
Sounds
Well,
like my brother.
it was a family get together, and I thought he was gonna like tell my mom I
Mhm.
do a lot of
I've
shots.
done that.
But
I've showed your stuff like I get a kick out of like showing some of your episodes and things that I've been into on your channel, including this podcast, to obscure locations. Like if I'm hanging out with my friends and like they have a YouTube app on their phone, I'll just type up you or Lord Josh Allen, who you should meet too, Jordan. And I'll play it and and I've done this with like people, friends too, and I always gauge their reaction. And if it's a good reaction, then they're a keeper, And if they're not, if they like act negatively towards you or Lord Josh and are like, this is stupid, I'm like, That's it. No, I'm all set. I think it's a good gauge, but I've showed your stuff to like, family members and stuff like that. I don't know if they follow it or whatever, but shout out to John's family and shout out to John's brother. John has like 1 million siblings. I
Yeah, my
didn't.
brother's name is Jared.
Jared, what's up,
Yep.
Jared?
Like
Good. I know.
the jewelry store.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. It's Jared, the jeweler. That's cool. Yeah, John had like this massive family reunion or something like. What do you have, one a year, John?
Well, he was a 50th anniversary, so it was a special occasion.
Oh, right. It's 50th. Yeah. So his mom and dad, 50 years. That's good. That's great.
Yeah, a long time.
They have like this giant mansion in the desert. It's like this oasis giant. Like, I was like, geez, like it's a compound. It's like they have their own Area 51. It might as well be.
Hey,
There's secret research going on underneath. There's all kinds. There's a nice pool.
It was a nice party. It was a nice party. There was a piano. There was a jazz piano player.
Oh, nice.
Hired to play the piano. So
like Nick Nightingale?
Or not The Shining. It's kind of like Eyes Wide Shut a little bit.
Nick Nightingale, yeah.
Just that aspect, nothing else.
Really? That's pretty cool. At the house, the jazz piano game?
Yeah, my parents have a grand piano that can play itself. And yet they still hired someone when you can tell it to play any song.
Wait a second, what?
It's connected to the internet. You could literally tell it to play any song.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Oh man. Yeah, no, John said, John, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but your dad was like a super scientist, like engineer, actually, for NASA on the Apollo missions, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for real. He put up he couldn't talk about his work that he did, right, John? He did satellites and stuff. Yeah.
My dad did have top secret clearance. You know how Bob Lazar talks about how there's a little blue thing on his badge?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My dad had a little red thing on his badge. So who knows? Maybe he was above Bob Lazar. I don't know.
No one's ever pointed that out. That's true. Huh.
So that
blue and red.
The little blue aspect is a real thing that they did have on some people's badges.
Yeah, I think there are definitely the thing about the Lazar story is there are definitely real plot points. Like he definitely found out little tiny things here and there.
Like clearly he did see one of those scanners at one point at a real facility because they did use them in the 80s. But not just at Area 51. They used him at much less. They probably used him at Los Alamos Labs where he actually did work.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. And I think it's been, he did, how did he prove that he worked there, John? Do you remember? He provided like a W-2 or something like that, or like a check or something.
He has like some type of Navy W-2 from the Navy.
Right.
There is a documentary coming out. There's a documentary coming out about Area 51, S4, Bob Lazar, whatever. And they claim that they interviewed someone who worked with Bob. On what level? Was he the janitor? I don't know. But they claim someone at Area 51 actually was interviewed. So I'm interested to at least, I have an open mind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I want to
Jordan,
see what they say. I'm interested.
Yeah, definitely. Jordan, are you into UFOs at all? Have you ever into those
I've
things?
never seen one, but I've always been interested, and I always kind of believe they were out there because after my spiritual awakening and everything I've remembered to deprogram from and clairvoyantly seen, I keep an open mind on it that they are. And there's so much we do not know physically.
Absolutely.
Even in the ocean, there's stuff we have not discovered.
That's right. That's a great point. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like people don't realize just on the earth or alien things, you know what I mean?
It's like this what
it's not
if
so far
thing.
out.
Even with time travel, I believe that there is time travel, and I do believe that the CIA does know about it. I was watching some on Gettysburg State Park, and there was a guy that talked about his dad was part of the CIA, and that they tapped into it. I forget what, and they sent him into unknown path in Gettysburg, and he saw soldiers. Lincoln was given the only inauguration, the only speech in Gettysburg at the time during the war. And this picture this guy showed was him as a kid, and he said he was in it.
Whoa.
Now,
Oh yeah.
years ago, I probably would have
Talking
kind of
about that guy.
Hold on.
off.
You talking about that lawyer? He was not.
No, Andrew Bashago. I think
Yeah, I
Jordan
think
is.
it is. I'll have to go back, but I was
Chicago
like,
was never in
"Are you?" I'm like,
Gettysburg.
really?
Yeah, no, Jordan, you're talking about John. Hold on one second.
Andrew Bashago is a professional lawyer. That's his job.
Yeah.
Lawyers, they tend to lie for a living, either on the good side or the bad side. But in this case,
No,
I think Bashago is 100% BS. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know. I kind of keep an open mind with it, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm just thinking if they did, what if it falls into the wrong hand? Like, say, the president today?
Well,
I do think that like some sort of time travel exists, but I don't think Andrew Bashago is it. I think Bashago is a good fiction writer, and he's a good makeup artist. Like
I'm gonna go back and
I
play it, and Brandon, I'll send y'all the name if that's who that is.
that's fine. Yeah, and I'll send you the stuff that John's done, where like he breaks
I
it
want to see it.
down. That photograph, like unfortunately, Jordan, there are hucksters out there, and they're like,
no, I know that. That's why I was like, I don't know. But he was talking to Mark Nesbitt, who's head of the ghost tours of Gettysburg. I had all his books in my early 20s.
Yeah. It just so happens that some people are just like Bashago, like he ran for president and stuff, and like I mean, like he's just a super narcissist. Like he thinks he was there with Obama, and then his story changes in the photograph. John, do you want to talk about the work you've done?
Bashago has run for president for multiple years because he wants those donations, that he can finagle those donations into his bank account and never actually win, just get some free money to pay his bills. Right. But
it's unfortunate.
Bashago,
very unfortunate.
Look at his face when he says it, because he said it on multiple shows. Look at Bashago's face when he shows a pixelated picture of you can't see more than 100 pixels on this ancient photograph, and it's a little kid. You can just see it one splotch of maybe you can see 3 splotches of shade going on, or maybe it's a black and white, maybe it's acetate, whatever the case. It's some super antique photo he found at a thrift store. He found it at an antique store. He bought it for $10, and he hucks it around, and he's a huckster, and he's like, look at that, that's me. And then people react like Jesse Ventura reacts like, okay.
Yeah.
And then you look at Andy Bashago's face, Bashago's like, yeah, that's me. And it's not him, okay?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to mention, and I wanted to see what y'all thought about that.
That's cool. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, Jordan,
it sounds a little far-fetched to me, too. I'm like, I don't know.
But it also, the sad thing is about these hucksters and hoaxers is that they prey on people, act like there might be something to time travel, right? And there's definitely a connection to like old photographs and that stuff is real. But like what Bashago will do is manipulate that. And I know a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. For example, I know people who have been at conferences with Andrew Bashago, and Andrew Bashago, I know, pays attention to John Razimus and those videos. In fact, I was told that Andrew Bashago, after John came out with one of his videos, I think it was the first one about the photograph, not the presidential one, but that Bashago gave up, and he was so depressed after that. He's also like a Hare Krishna or something, some kind of thing, so yeah, and behind the scenes, like people know that like he's using this presidential campaign thing. He acts very presidential, and he's very good at like acting that way. But the reality of the situation is he has a law degree. He's not even a practicing lawyer, I don't think, John. And but not to say that all lawyers are liars. I don't think that's true. But he happens to be one.
I know a few in Lake Charles.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely like I know for sure. I went to law school.
Too.
Listen, I went to law school, so I know the whole spectrum of different people. You know that
If you went behind the scenes, you know.
yeah, so I know people like Bashago that like, they can't make it as a lawyer because making it as a lawyer is really hard and it's not even worth it sometimes. Like
Oh yeah.
0.01. You know what I mean? So Bashago would rather make up stories and do conferences, circuit, do radio shows, and then just get money that way, and fool some people into thinking that he's an actual time traveler. So unfortunately, he takes away from like the legitimate, like cool thing that we all want to. But I think you're right, Jordan, is that like the government is looking into time travel or at least manipulating time.
Oh yeah.
Time has always been the great god of this earthly plane. Kronos, Saturn, whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
has influenced money, finance, because time begins the stock market, even like things like that. Like, so if you know time, you know exactly how to manipulate things on Earth. And so,
And
yeah,
that can be very, very dangerous.
and that's very dangerous. And Hubert, it's super dangerous. And so, and I don't think like people like Bashago would be out there if they were actually true. So, anyway, that's my opinion on.
Oh no, I agree with both of you.
But
Yes.
that's cool that you know of him, because like not too many people would even know.
Y'all have seen Stargate, right? Y'all have seen Stargate Atlantis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think? Like, it could be like mythical or behind the
Factual.
scenes. Could it be factual?
All right, I'll tell you this. Can I speak first, John, and then you
Yeah.
go?
Sure.
All
I'd
right.
love to get your thoughts.
So take it for what it's worth. But a lieutenant colonel who dabbled a little bit, not only in the occult. Okay, this guy was this high priest of the original Church of Satan, Anton LaVey. He loved and worshipped Anton LaVey, the satanic guy.
I
And
actually have a book of his. I'm gonna admit that
yeah,
right
I
now, but
mean,
I was curious.
he's not a good guy. But so this guy he went into the army. This guy, Michael Aquino, is his name, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino. And he was paid to go on above top secret and like write stuff and stuff. Anyway, but he somehow dabbled in this universe and would talk about different things. And people were spooked out about him because he wrote books on Lord of the Rings. Actually, he wrote a book on Indiana Jones, Star Wars fan fiction. He was very much a nerd like me, and but he said that Stargate. He was very interested in Stargate, and in fact, he said that he was the inspiration. Like, but you got to take this with a huge grain of salt because Anton LaVey would say the same sort of things. Like he was the inspiration for this and whatever. You can't prove it really, but that he and I think Colonel Lavalley were the inspiration for Stargate, and that he represented because he was into the Temple of Set is what he founded, and so he was into the Egyptian mythology and all that stuff, and so he said that he claimed that Stargate was true, and that was based on him. And that he was the Kurt Russell character, which I found really funny because he's a total nerd. He was anyway. Rest in peace, I guess.
Yeah, the way you describe him does not sound like Kurt Russell. Sounds more like James Spader.
Yeah, but I will say exactly, and that's what with the
Dr.
medallion,
Jackson.
right? But it wasn't. And the other thing I will say is that there is an episode of Atlantis, I believe it is, where the military has to fake a TV show for kids to pretend that they're at war. It's like it's a super meta episode. So I think there's a lot of interesting, I think it's got to be revisited and looked at and it's
I
very
agree.
neglected by people. Anyway, John, what do you think? Have you ever seen it?
Well, my opinion of Stargates is, Stargate is a movie from 1994 starring Kurt Russell, James Spader, Jay Davidson, Vivica Lindfors. Running time 1 hour and 59 minutes, $55 million was the budget. They got 125 million internationally, 71.6 million domestically. So 196.6 million is what they grossed. And you know, what always comes to mind is that dude on the SG1 show, Christopher Judge, playing the character Teal-C, or I don't know how to pronounce Teal. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but you know, he has that thing on his forehead. I think it's all.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
It's all fictional. I personally don't buy it. I don't buy it because the same people pushing it as real are the same people pushing giant fossils in the Middle East. Giant fossils, giant bones. Stargate. I was in Iraq and I saw Stargate and giant bones. We'll show the evidence. Where's the evidence? Zero. Zip. Zilch. Nada.
Yeah.
It's always the same. I mean,
Yeah.
Give us the Carfax.
Give us the Carfax. I love
Sorry,
that.
I had to put the pun in there.
No, it's brilliant. No, it's true though. But there are people. I forget who it was that said that they had been to Iraq and they recovered Nephilim bones, you know, or they saw Nephilim. I forget the guy's name, but it will come to me. But he was a British guy, and he had this book he put out called like the 9 or the 6 or something.
I was ghost hunting near Jack Parsons' house in Pasadena, California. And some dude comes up to me walking his dog, and he says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm ghost hunting." I'm just honest. I told him straight to his face, "This is a Mel meter, just looking for ghosts." Jack Parsons used to live here, and the guy didn't know who Jack Parsons was. The guy didn't know anything. He didn't know he lives like right next door to Jack Parsons' old house. But anyway, the guy starts rambling about conspiracy theories involving Alexa.
Oh, wow.
Involving Siri and all this conspiracy theories involving these devices that can hear you and eavesdrop on you. So he jumped to the conclusion that because I'm ghost hunting, I must be a wacko and I believe every conspiracy. I'm not a wacko. I don't believe in every conspiracy. I personally say no, probably to 99, maybe 90%, maybe 10% are real. Maybe 10% are real conspiracies that are proven and backed up, or maybe they're not. But I'm a very skeptical person personally. I'm just really naturally skeptical. I like to see evidence, you know.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jordan, you've had a lot of experience with a spirit box.
Oh God, yeah. At in Ritchie Cemetery, it was the first time I was there. It's off North Perkins, which has a lot of water. Nitzel River, superconductive energy right there. I wish I would have had it in the video, which I didn't, and I kick myself to this day that I didn't, because when I had the spirit box on, you just hear interference. That's it when I'm filming, because I was testing. This was a test run because my first time using it when I got it from Amazon, and when I play it back, where I didn't hear anything physically, you literally hear a baby crying. And I was the only one out there in the cemetery. There was nobody else out there with me.
Wow.
I was like, okay, there's something here.
Yeah. Well, the one thing, John, one of the many things I love about Jordan, is, as a ghost hunter, at least, is that, or investigator, however you want to say it, I think, or a paranormal investigator, is that she's willing to like look back on and re-listen to like her investigations. Like, it's not like, oh, we shot it, it's done, here you go, editors, you take care of it. It's like you actually remember quite a bit, and you almost Jordan, because I've known you, if I may say, you've had like with some things you have like a photographic memory almost.
Yes.
And so when you're talking about these things, like, you know, you're really, you know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What I was going to say. Hey,
I'm always willing to be proven wrong, but I'm also sure of myself a lot because I edit my own videos. I do everything myself, and it's like, if I don't like something, if it's not what I thought I heard, I'll cut it out.
So you said you heard something. A lot of the times I turn on my recorder and my camera and everything 5 minutes even before I get to the location. because spirits are smart enough. They know you're coming. They know
Oh yeah.
where they are. We don't know where their boundaries are. I turn my stuff on 5 minutes even before I start sometimes. Not every time, but I've learned that some of the best evidence is 5 minutes after you leave, 5 minutes before you get there, because they're really eagerly anticipating playing with your stuff, seeing what's going on. And you do have to be on the ball and really prepared to give you evidence, because when you want the evidence, that's when sometimes you get nothing.
Exactly.
All the time.
I've had stuff happen in my own house here. Like I told you about the lady. I was sleeping last night and I thought it was Cosmo was moving on. My cat was on the bed, but I felt somebody sit on the bed and I thought it was him moving, but he was not moving at all. I'm like, great, I'm not even filming right now.
Yeah, Jordan has a really pretty cat too.
You don't want to bring stuff home with you, so I don't investigate close to my house. Just try to be safe.
Oh, no. I know. I always tell them, and this Miss Gayla is another one that goes and talks to them. We always say, don't follow us.
Yeah.
Jordan's
incredibly... Oh, there's Nixie again.
Yeah.
But I have had, since I've been gone, I have had a couple of little kids from Ritchie Cemetery actually come to my parents' house while I'm in the backyard, and I feel them say, like, where are you? Where are you? I'm like, I can't be with y'all right now. I miss y'all. I do, but I can't. I'm so sorry. Aww. Richard Todd Ryan, he's such a doll.
Yeah, I think you feel things on a very emotional, powerful level that I think
too much sometimes.
Too much. It can be overwhelming for you.
Yes.
And I think it would be overwhelming for anybody that's... I do believe that people are gifted psychically, and I do think people are gifted in certain ways. Not everybody, and it's certainly not the people advertising it most of the time. So
no, I don't advertise myself.
John,
Nixie,
go ahead.
I think my cat Nixie might be psychic because one time I was at my computer, and she'll walk by my legs and like walk past my legs. A very common thing cats will do, right?
Yeah.
So I felt my cat walk past my legs, right? I'm like, no big deal. And then I looked down and I saw my cat sleeping, and it wasn't her.
Whoa!
She was like walking past my legs while she was in a different location sleeping. So I don't know if she can project. I don't know. It was kind of freaky.
Wow, that's
my
interesting.
cat Luna can, but Luna, I was sitting on the bed over here one time, and Luna was on the right side of me, and she was looking towards where this mirror is right here. This is 1920s armoire, and I felt something cold by my knee, and she started growling, and I thought she was growling at me, and her eyes were towards where the coldness of my knee was. So whatever she saw was not a good spirit.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think animals can see spirits all the time, and I think they're desensitized from being able to see spirits.
Mm.
Oh, no, I agree.
Kind of ignore spirits, like, it's just a spirit, no big deal. But if they come close and it does something, they can definitely react to it. Yeah.
Yeah, Cosmo, he's so nonchalant when they're around. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're desensitized to it. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a reason why. I heard that. Yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
15 haunted dolls in this room, and they have set off my EMF reader, every one of them, just about. Then they tell me intuitively which one wants to go out.
I was gonna. Yeah, Jordan has quite a collection of haunted dolls. She attaches EMF readers. What are the REM pod? I think it was, or whatever.
The REM pod,
or both.
Brandon saw a live I did, and I had Priscilla and Annalise. They're trigger dolls from the Myrtles Plantation, which is the most haunted plantation in Louisiana, and I had liberty to go there back in 2013. And let's just say I got what I went there for.
See, I think there are spots down south that are so freaking haunted, that are incredible hot spots that, like, I don't think people like Zach Baggins have yet to discover that maybe.
Oh no,
Jordan, you have stumbled.
You just come over where I am.
Right. Well, so I mean, but there's other places. There's so many like because of the plantations and the suffering. Like John said earlier, maybe the trauma happened, maybe it didn't happen, but something historical. It was just a confluence of like African, Haitian, this and that. Like it's just all these different cultures in Louisiana clashing together. Like I said earlier, as a gumbo, to like, of cultures and like spiritual and religious practices. So like you grew up in that.
Adventure Crew, Zach Bagans, he has the budget to go anywhere in the world he wants.
It's true.
He produces
Yeah,
he produces like 10 to 20 Ghost Hunter shows. People don't know that, but he produces multiple shows even in Europe.
Yeah,
he's a millionaire.
Somebody said like the spirit world that the spirit world doesn't like him at all. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
Well, I think personally, Zach Bagans brings spirits to whatever location he goes to. So even if
do
it's
you think he's a conduit?
I think spirits are following him wherever he goes, personally.
So do you think he's a conduit for them?
Well, he wrote a book called I Am Haunted. So, I mean, take that.
Wow, really?
I was drawn to that book. I hadn't bought it. Now I'm like, I wish I did because I have his first one. And I actually read before he got to A Dream of His Past Life, which is funny for the both of you. I was reading it in Galveston one day, and it was when the freeze happened. And I had a vision, a clairvoyant vision of a sailor in a boat. Like he was like trying to get the oar or something. It was a small boat, or trying to steer it, like the back steer, if I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah. Well, the bow.
And then
or the stern.
I forget what it's called. But when I turned the page, he mentions the dream, and he said, I think I had a past life. And you read the line, as a sailor, and my blood ran cold. I was like, I really did just see that before I took the page and read it.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Jordan has like flashes of visions, and I've had those like from time to time, like deja vu sort of things, and then they come to it happens like later on in life, and you're like, oh, I remember thinking of this when I was 8 years old, even.
Yeah,
like,
it's called precognition, I think.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. That's true.
And I just tell people, I'm just privy to a lot of information that most people
really are
not open to.
Yeah, and you know what I love about you, Jordan, is that you're super humble about it, and you're not like, you really truly are. You're not, and you're beautiful and everything, and you could sell yourself, and you could do all these crazy things, and like a lot of people do, and you could go to Hollywood, and I don't want to use some vulgar words at all, so I'm not going to use them because we can't here, but you could do all those things that people do and make a lot of money, but you choose not to do that, and you're doing this purely for the love of the game, and that's why I thought you'd be a great guest here, because John does it for the love of the game.
I love it, and because I feel it's a soul calling for me to do it. And I want to be a voice for them, and they need a voice. They need a voice to speak, and I feel like I'm doing the spirit community a big favor by giving them that. It's a gift
and
that
you're
I
so
give.
sweet, and you're just the sweetest, and like you really have. I don't want to say innocent. I don't want to say innocent, but a pure, like, and you do have a big heart. And sometimes you can let in bad things that you misconstrue as like good or whatever. But like you get rid of them and you grow and you evolve and stuff. And so, but you keep on, like, you're doing these ghost investigations and you're putting in a lot of work doing, like, I'm talking 3 videos this week of ghost and like different investigations.
That's a lot of work. Yeah, just watch out. Spiritual level as well. You got to be careful.
That's true. John would say, and I would say too, is Jordan.
When I enter an area, I tell the spirits, I come in peace and I go in peace, and I say the same thing.
That's right. We did say that.
Follow me. I want it to be as peaceful as possible. If it's a negative entity, even a negative entity can respect if you're there for science, if you're trying to get evidence, and you're just coming in peace and you're leaving in peace. You're not going to disturb the area on any permanent level. And if you don't tell anybody where it is, if it's a secret location, perhaps they respect that more. I don't know. But even negative entities can have a somewhat of a positive result. But hopefully it's a positive entity. You never know. It's kind of a mixed bag when you investigate.
Well, even with even with the portal in the backyard, like where the woods are, that's what I told him. Like, look, I'm not here to harm anybody. I just want to get to the truth of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've called my name through it. They know who I am. They're like, "Oh, great, she's back." And I've had them call me Sarah Michelle Gellar, like Buffy. Like, I kid you not. There's a video where
That
you
might be
watch it.
true, actually. That's crazy because
Uh-huh.
like demons are actually aware of like I think pop culture memes and stuff and like
They are.
characters, and
Like
they
you said,
might
they're pretty
even
smart.
impersonate them. No, and they might even impersonate what you like project as your sexy person, or like you know what I mean, or like the person that you might love, or like you know what I mean, or idolize, or and they might come
Oh,
to you
they
as a
do. They
dream.
have done that.
Oh, I
If
know
they
they
were to
have for you. I
project,
don't want to get into the spicy part
yeah.
of some of your encounters, Jordan. But like, yeah, needless to say, like they have like you got to be careful of what you let in and out. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I know. Like I've had spirits taunt me. I've had some bad ones taunt me. Like one said last night in the
Yeah.
kitchen, I heard him say, "I'm gonna find your weakness," and I'm like, really?
Mm-mm.
I was like,
Mm.
honey, I have dealt with worse in human form
That's right. You don't know.
than
You like Jordan. The thing is about humility, and not too many beautiful women have it, or intelligent, beautiful. I think most of them are Southern women, actually, that I find that have that humility. Um, like that's such a power. Do you know that? Like
Mhm.
you have complete control over anything. You
Oh
have
yeah, that's what
complete
I tell him.
domain. You have complete domain over your own domain, and it's
Yeah,
given to you straight from the universe, the divine, whatever you want to call it, God, whatever you want to call it, and it's given to you. And those things cannot harm you, no matter
no,
what.
and I tell
And
him,
they
I
can
said,
follow
look,
you. They can pay attention. They play little
yeah,
tricks, but ultimately, it's like you know what I mean. But like, yeah. Anyway,
and I'll tell
you
him, I'm
have
like,
power.
look, I acknowledge y'all are here. I know y'all are here, but you don't even try to use my fears against me because I
Mhm.
have been through so much already in a short amount of time. It's not going to phase me.
In human form too. Like
Yeah, in
they're
human
not on the
form.
material plane. They are
Yeah,
not on the material, and they hate that. They hate that
yeah,
they're not, and they try to get into the material
they do.
plane as through a human or through a device or through this, like, but they can't, and they
They
hate that.
can't. And in this house, sometimes, and I'll be honest with the both of you, I can feel like when there's ominous energy, like an ominous energy has
Hmm.
fallen on this house. I can feel it.
Yep.
And it's so heavy. It is so heavy.
Yeah.
And I
No, it
believe it's
feels.
John, do you think it could be coming from that portal in the woods?
Well, I don't know about portals, but you might have some type of attachment. I mean, if you even say you have haunted dolls and this and that, I personally would say a prayer just for protection. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree. Because I feel like there's attachments like on some of my toys from that was up in the attic. I've been like, I'll be drawn to that. Like there's something on it.
Mm.
Well,
I
That could
think that.
be coming
if
from one
you're,
of those.
if you're patient and you keep almost a monk-like meditative state, I'm not talking about meditating like a monk. I'm just talking about having a positive state. Like you said, just don't let it bother you. Don't let it disturb you in any way. And they're weaker than they claim to be. They're weaker than they are. They want to portray
Exactly.
themselves as. You can outlast them. I've had an entity stalk me for like 6 months. It almost pretended to stalk me just for 1 or 2 months, but he was still there in the background waiting for weakness. And I actually quit investigating, and I just stuck to a positive mindset, and it took off. It wasn't interested, but before it took off, it levitated items right in front of my face. So that was
Hmm.
pretty startling. People thinking this is just a mental thing. I literally saw wires on my desk physically levitated, and that's over the top, but that's what it did before it left. He really wanted to show its power before it left.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
John has
Well,
documented this all on his YouTube channel, Jordan.
I
So you
will because I
really need
had
to dive in. Yeah.
I will, because at Candlewood, I was working at the. I told Brandon this story. This was like back in July, like Mercury retrograde. I was having, and I had a horrible boss that was, threatening me because I was more popular with the guests than she was. It was out of jealousy she let me go, but I was going to get something. I could feel all this negative energy in the hotel. Like I could pick up, like there was something done on this land. I mean, it was a Takapaw Indian land.
That's
This
a
was
very common. Yep.
yeah, this was all Takapaw Indian land at one point. And it's by the
Natives.
river, super conductive energy, pirates. We had Jean Lafitte. We had a lot of piracy over here. But I had to go get a remote and on the second floor for a guest because their room did not have a remote. And I went into one room, and not long after that, I got fired.
Wow. They will
And
mess with your
then
external thing, oppression. Yeah.
yeah, and I thought it was because maybe I did sense that was because a guy was flirting with me, and my boss likes to watch the cameras because he has nothing else to do. But nothing was going on with me and him. I was just, giving him his key, and he was
What a
just coming
lucky
down,
guy.
and
Lucky
yeah, the
guy.
guy
That
was
guy.
just coming down and trying to talk to me. That was it. That was all that was going. But she had it out for me. I found out from former coworkers that worked with me. But the point is, a woman that I know, she was a clairvoyant. She's a clairvoyant, and she felt that, and an empath, she felt there was something attached to me. And she was saying she was getting something from a hotel room. You've got some attached to you from a hotel room.
Really?
Yeah, and I kept clairvoyantly seeing the room number 207, and I was telling her about it. She's like, pay attention to that number. And I remembered going on the second floor, and my necrometer, even though I question those sometimes, I mostly do it for
I do
fun.
too. Yeah.
On the second floor, it said attachment, and it
Right.
was by 207. And I'm
So
like,
there you
I kind
go.
of brushed it off, but apparently that night it was right.
Yeah. You got to be careful with attachment.
Yeah. Well, we live in a multi-dimensional layered universe, and there are angels on the higher levels
Oh,
looking
yeah.
down on us, looking down on the negative entities. And so you can always trust that there are positive higher entities that can banish these negative entities like that.
That's
And so
true.
you just got to stay positively minded, and you can be, connected with the higher dimensional angels. And I've seen angels kick negative entities immediately
Yes.
within one
Oh, I
second
have
out of an
to.
area.
When I call them in, you can feel like when you do. I don't know if you can feel it, John, but you can feel like a change in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of people describe that change in the air.
Yeah, you can just feel that when once was heavy, it lifts, like the heaviness lifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I call them in, that's what it feels like. Now, the
Yeah.
incubi and the succubi are the ones I have problems with.
Is that right? Yeah. I think a lot
Yes.
of people have problems with it, but like I
Well, we're
find that
usually asleep, when you're being affected by them.
right. I
Yep.
find that the light banishes a lot of evil entities. I had one experience I remember extremely vividly when I moved into this place and I was asleep and John John. No, so I was up and I forget what was going on, but the sunlight came up and it was like very crack of dawn. And I felt an entity hover. I saw it from down the hall, right in this very building. I saw it down the hall, and I looked down there, and I saw this like it looked like. I realized what a djinn was. It was called smokeless fire because you could see these little tendrils or dendrites
Mm-hmm.
coming off of it, but it looked like smoke, but it wasn't going anywhere. It
Mm-hmm.
looked like not Slimer because Slime is green and Slimer drives a bus. I found out in
Slimer.
Ghostbusters 2, he's actually driving a bus. So somehow Slimer has elevated to public servant, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I saw that. Isn't that funny? So anyway, but beside the point is that down the hall there was like this big. There he is.
Yeah.
Talk.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
Bus driver in his life, apparently.
hey, Slimer,
Yeah,
some
my father
muncher.
says, well, at least I hope you got your license.
So no, but so I saw her from down the hall, and it was this. It really was this like blobular thing in that sort of
What
shape.
color was it?
Black, completely
Yeah.
black,
Oh, wow.
I've seen
completely
one in my
black,
bedroom. It
and
hovers
it
in the
was
corner
floating.
where my mirror is.
Hey,
And Jordan, you brought up a thing about feet and legs and feet specifically,
Mm-hmm.
very recently. I think on your last video. And I
Yes,
think John
yes.
actually, it's one of his almost unique things that I think draws you two together is that John, quite rightly, and even the medievalists were into this and pointed it out, is that if you look at the hoof print, if you look at the legs or even the feet of you can tell whether or not it's a negative or positive entity or some sort of other entity. What was your experience, Jordan, with the feet? You saw it
Well,
from down the hallway, and then
yeah, from my old house in Leak City, I had put up. I had so many stories with the Civil War soldiers there that I wanted to do a video of it, and it was a
Mhm.
healing thing to go back to that house. But I was in. This was one of many nights when John was my ex-husband's name was John, but John was gone to work, and I had a friend over, and he was on the couch. He was actually watching TV, and I
Another
just
lucky
saw
guy.
my bedroom. Well, he's just one of my friends'
Okay,
friends.
all right. I'm
No,
not
no, no,
jealous.
nothing
No,
like
I'm not
that.
jealous. It's okay. I'm not
No,
jealous.
nothing like that.
I'm
He
not
was
jealous.
a gay guy I was friends with,
Sure he
and I'm
was.
friends with a lot of the gays down there.
Sure he was. Okay, I'm not jealous.
But he was
Just
one of my
kidding.
friend James's friends that I met, and he was on the couch. James was upstairs reading some of my history books,
Sure he was.
and I was looking out of the door, and I saw feet and it goes towards where my master bedroom is, and I saw feet. It was just feet, like Reeboks. You could tell like it was Reeboks.
Hmm.
And it was walking. They were just walking down the hallway, and I'm like, I thought it was my friend. And I was like, I went to the living room. I was like, dude, were you just looking for me? He's like, no, I've been here. He's like, Jordan, I've been here the whole time.
So it was something else.
It wasn't him. It was something else.
So, John, what are your thoughts on feet and spirits?
As they say, the devil wears Reeboks. Just kidding.
No, as they say, the devil says, "Just do it."
Yeah.
I mean, it's just mythological, but Aleister Crowley put the flower or whatever the case when he's doing the 6-month Abramelin ritual, and he never got through it because he was a lazy practitioner. But if there's chicken feet or whatever the case, he'll know some demon walked on the
Oh, wow.
threshold. And
Hmm.
hooves or whatever the case, hooves is always a popular thing. But I noticed chicken feet was a big one.
Hmm.
And the entity that did walk in the grass in front of my face, totally optically invisible, did sound like chicken feet, but it wasn't walking like a chicken. It was walking like you would expect a gnome that was trying to get attention, like a gnome
wow.
with chicken feet, of all things. That's how it sounded. It sounded like a sentient, intelligent being purposely stomping and going in circles with chicken feet is what it sounded like. I couldn't see it, but that's what it sounded like. And I did record it, and I've played it many times. And I'm sure some people think I got some stock audio and spliced it together, but I didn't. That's authentic. I have the original footage, and I'm sure a video expert could authenticate the fact that I didn't manipulate this Sony Handycam video audio. It's the real deal. I still have the original file.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you were there alone. There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that. I've had that happen to where I would be somewhere and through the camera, the playback. Even though I'm by myself when I do my investigations places, you can hear even through the audio playback when I'm listening to myself talk. I can hear like feet behind me, like footsteps,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, did I just hear that? And I will kid y'all not. I will play that audio back like even when they come through the spear box like 20 times till I'm pretty sure what I heard or what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Jordan's
I
pretty
want to make
fearless.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, they say spirits walk right behind you, and you have to turn, and they turn when you turn. And I read that in a book called, in this book, I read the whole thing. It's an amazing book by a female American who joined a Buddhist organization back in the 1940s. And she said this is what she heard, that spirits will follow you like back to back. And I've heard multiple practitioners, multiple ghost hunters talk about it. So I tested it out. I was at a pretty haunted location in Tucson on the end of a canal ditch. And I turned around real quick. And behind my back, the millimeter did go off. And while you would think that is just maybe a malfunction, I got an EVP, one of the best EVPs. I would say personally, the number one best EVP I ever got. Because I touched a metal pipe and I said, is there any spirits here? And the EVP said, that's not a spirit. So I got a spirit using the word spirit. I got a spirit using the word spirit, and it sounded like a Native American in a very low-pitched voice. That's not a spirit. And it's clearly not my voice. It's no one's voice. I was by myself.
Can you touch the antenna on this device? I know you can do it. Come on. I'm about to leave. This is your chance to tell us if you're here or not. I'm going to give the spirit a few more opportunities. Okay.
I didn't even hear it because he talks in such an old-fashioned cadence, and he talks so slow that the ear really, unless you're listening for it, you don't hear it. But one of my listeners on my channel heard it, and they said, "Hey, it said that's not a spirit." And I went back. So thank you to the listener who found that, because without you, somehow it's such a low frequency. He talks in such a low tone that
I get a lot like that too. Like through my headphones, I can hear it, but and you might get that too. Tell me if you do, like when you do your playback and if you wear headphones, you can hear it. But when you watch the actual video, when it's done, you can't hear it.
It was so clear. Like it's clearly the real deal. I'm sure skeptics would think I dubbed it in or slowed my voice or got some friend to say it, but that's authentic footage. It's the real deal.
No, John listens to his playbacks.
Yeah, when I was cleaning out my closet like 6 months ago, I could feel like there was attachments to some of my clothes that came when I lived in Galveston, one of the most haunted cities. Like I can feel when there is.
Yeah, you could definitely feel. Like I was in Tombstone, Arizona, in the basement of Big Nose Kate's saloon, which used to be some grand hotel, but it burned down, but the basement still remained. So it's the original basement. And some kid asked me what I'm doing, and I said I'm ghost hunting. And he said, "How do you know if there's ghosts or not?" And it's a pretty good question, because I mean, you either feel it or you're either born with the ability to sense it or you're not. So it's really hard to describe to a kid that doesn't have a device, you know. So I did write a ghost hunting book for beginners, but then I just merged it all together and I wrote a ghost hunting book. It's about 200 pages long, and I haven't published it yet because I want to self-publish it, and it's pretty expensive. I was
going to ask. I would love a copy.
I don't want to give a cut to some publisher that's a no-name and they take 50%. I want to get 100%. I'm willing to upfront the money. I just ran out of money, but when I get that money, I'm going to have like 400 copies printed, and then it'll be available. But I have to. I'm making a movie right now, Nectar Lumaton, and I don't know if Brandon said you want to be in it or not, but most definitely, if you want to voice act in it, you're welcome
Yeah,
to.
I would love to.
You don't have to physically fly here or anything like that or drive here. You can voice act over the internet.
Oh
Just
yeah.
your best quality audio and video.
When
The
I
main, the
do
main
my own acting skits, I do my own voiceovers and play with them.
that is definitely more than some will have. I mean, I'm asking non-actors and they have zero experience, so it's great if you have experience. That's good.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I mean, and also, I mean, this was experience for a nanosec. I was in a movie clip, but I played a dead body in an actual morgue. And
wow,
Wow.
for my hyper butt, you know how hard it was to keep still for 5 minutes straight.
that's pretty cool. Wow, that's cool.
And
Yeah, no.
I knew the guy that was the embalmer, and I knew the guy that was the mortician, and I met the directors, and the director actually he still has me in mind for another part. He's an
Wow.
artist in Dallas, great painter, awesome painter, and he's an art teacher.
We'll hope you get the other part. My movie is low budget. It's my first movie I'm ever making, and it's not going to be super huge blockbuster. You're not going to see it, back to back next to Spider-Man at the movie theater. I mean, it's a small production, but I'm working really hard. I've worked probably close to 2 years at this point on pre-production, just working my butt off to the point where family members are skeptical if it's real. So I had to show my family members some props that took a considerable amount of time. I've commissioned neon signs. I've commissioned bottles of products from the future because it takes place 100 years in the future, and you can have a dialogue in someone's living room all day and night. But if you don't have futuristic products, no one's going to realistically believe you're 100 years in the future.
Right.
So you have to have some futuristic products. And my movie is not sponsored by anyone. So 100% of the products are futuristic and fake and fictional. They don't exist. But I want to go over the top. I want to have a mascot, a commercial, both radio and audio for each item. And there's not a huge amount of items. And after researching, I realized that I can't have too many fake name brands because then I have to get the .com just in case someone wants to snag it and take it. So I have to actually downgrade how many brand names that don't exist are in my movie. But for example, there's an energy drink, there's a restaurant, there's a sunglasses brand, there's this, there's that. And I am grabbing the .com for some of them. And then some people are going to grab the trademark and they're going to try to trump me. But as long as you have the .com, you're fairly safe. I just want to sell T-shirts and posters. That's it. And the T-shirts and posters are just going to try to perhaps fund the next movie or try to recoup something for this movie. Because I understand it's a total loss. It's an artistic project that doesn't seek monetary rewards. I just want to have it out there, but I do want to push it to like 10 different film festivals. So I do want to have a budget to submit it to 10 film festivals. And for example, $90 is the standard rate for a lot of film festivals. So I have to set aside $1,000 just for film festivals, and then it's in their hands. A lot of film festivals are closed and they only share stuff with their closed buddies, but I'm going to try to diversify across the nation to hopefully some open-minded film festivals that actually want to play it and people will hopefully watch it. And I don't know if distribution is ever going to take place, but my hope is that maybe Tubi or Pluto TV or Schmudo Shmeev or even the smallest streaming program. I don't care what it is, hopefully streams it in the future.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. No, I'd love to help for sure.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome to be a part of it. Like there's a lot of going to be fake commercials. Like I'm pretty excited. I don't know if you ever heard of Schmitty. Schmitty is sort of famous online.
I've heard of the name.
Schmitty has been mentioned by PewDiePie. That's how famous she is. She's pretty famous. She's more famous than me. And she said she wants to be part of my movie. and I mentioned
Really?
fake commercials, and she said, "Yeah, I'd love to do a fake commercial." So that's a pretty cool.
I love Schmitty.
Yeah, Schmitty is she's kind of an edgy comedian, so edgy that people don't understand her sense of humor, but I understand it fully.
Yeah.
She's part of the meme crew, and she makes jokes that are on the edge, and that's kind of what this movie sort of will be about to an extent. I'm not gonna push it to any extreme edge. I don't want to push any boundaries when it comes to making anyone feel uncomfortable. I want to be, inclusive and be a positive experience for everyone that watches. But I think she'll, and you and anyone are going to. You can't make a movie by yourself. That's what I'm learning. You need people to help you out. You can't
Mhm.
have you can't have your own name on the entire credits. I've actually made a couple of tiny projects, and when your own name is on the credits, it looks fake. The whole thing's fake.
Yeah.
Who cares? You have
Yeah,
to
I
have a
mean, you
collaborative
can do
effort with other
skits.
artists.
You can do skits by yourself, but a full length movie, no, you definitely need help.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So thanks
Like
for
my skits, I do it all by myself, but my skits are like the longest they've been is like what, Brandon, 2 minutes, if that.
Yeah, but they're really good. I mean, there's one character that you do that is like some sort of like it's like a Southern belle, and
Yeah,
she's like,
Tony
"Oh
Joe.
my darling, I can't tonight. I don't know, honey," and it's just
That
like,
one just came out of me. I don't know what was going on, but it just like what I could feel it from the depths of my being. Like it just wanted, I kid you
yeah.
not, I just wanted to come out. So I just did
No,
it on a whim.
Jordan would be perfect for the movie, I think, and she does it on her own. I don't think
Mhm.
she even know. I mean, until I mentioned it, you didn't even know about John's movie. But
Mhm.
you just been doing acting on your own for many
Yeah,
years, and so
yeah. It's a
and the
good.
guy,
Very therapeutic.
yeah, and the guy Eddie Spector, who we hopefully will come on maybe next week, maybe some other time. We never know. I'll try to Jordan. We got to get in touch with Eddie
I'll get in touch
or
with them. That'd be
Brian
cool to have
Trevig.
all four of us on. It'd be a great little
He
reunion.
would he would it would just be an incredible fest. But he's an actor as well. He's played Sherlock Holmes on
Oh yeah,
stage.
Eddie's good.
Um,
He's very good.
oh,
I
he's
can both can
incredible.
vouch.
Yeah. So he's one of these unknown people that are out there that you could really use, and he would really, I think I've shown him things of yours that he really loved. So, um, yeah, anyway,
Oh, cool.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I'll definitely reach out to him.
John, I noticed you changed sunglasses. And I know
No, it's the
sunglasses
same.
are,
It's the same ones. It's the same ones.
oh, they are
Yeah,
the same.
he has the
Just
same ones.
flip
Yeah,
up.
Oh, look at that. Okay. So, is that part of the movie? Is that a movie prop? Is that one of those?
Well, I am gonna have these in the movie, most definitely, but these aren't the hero props. We're talking 17 months making and researching what the main character's glasses look like. And it's not all just about the main character, it's about other characters as well. You're going to see different things. I don't want to give too much away because Hollywood is lightning fast at stealing. And
oh
Yeah.
yes, they are.
I'm not a paranoid person, but I know for a fact that Hollywood has zero ideas in life coming out with Gremlins 3. And
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
they've
they have no
lost
idea.
their imagination.
Hollywood has no imagination, no ideas. And if they want my amazing ideas, feel free to pay the piper.
Exactly. They should read some of my short stories I come up with. But like I said, show me the money. Keep it good and goody. Show me the money.
I mean, even in high school, I remember this kid said, "Oh, this is my story. I'm going to copyright it." But technically, if you've written it out, it's already yours. But
Yeah,
when it
I've heard
comes
you
to
don't
a
have to
movie,
copyright anything.
when it comes to a movie, when it's a done deal and I release it and someone copies and steals from it, at least I have a timestamp that can say, "Hey," and other people will say, "Hey, what about that?" So I don't mind people being inspired, and I'm inspired by many different sources: Blade Runner, Clockwork Orange, I mean,
Clockwork Orange. I could not get through that movie. I tried, Brandon. I tried, but it just that
Really?
guy, he creeped me out so
Clockwork
bad,
Orange?
worse than Jack Nicholson.
Oh, he's Shining, you mean?
Yeah,
which movie?
Yeah.
I can get through that whole movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, John
Fate-
dressed up as Alex DeLarge.
yeah,
Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell creeped me out so bad. He played his part good.
No,
Rest
he
in peace.
definitely did.
I've dressed up
Absolutely.
as Alex DeLarge twice, and most people don't know who it is. Most people don't know who you dressed up as.
Like with the,
John-
did you do like the like the
Oh,
like
he
the
did everything.
eyelashes and everything?
Yeah, I had the one eyelash extended thing.
The eye on the
it's on
sleeve.
both sides. I think it's on the left eye, both sides. I had the works. I had everything.
Everything. The cane, like the top hat. And he went to, what was it, Halloween Hollywood or whatever. And,
Yeah, on the Sunset, they have a free Halloween party.
and
They
some
block it off,
ruffians.
and you can just walk around, everyone. And I saw
What
these
happened?
3 guys dressed as Droogs, just like me from the movie. And I asked for a photo because all 4 of us would be the 4 Droogs. And these guys were short and younger than me, and they perhaps were drunk. I don't know, but they had no interest in being photographed with me. And so I asked the second time, and I'm not sure they spoke English. It wasn't their first language. All I can say is on the second ask, maybe the third ask, I have to admit, I might have asked 3 times. They started punching me. And these are these short little guys punching me. I'm like, I didn't even notice it.
What?
The first 3 punches, I didn't even notice. I'm like, what? Is something happening?
Did it really hit you?
That's
And
happened to
then-
me, yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, what's going on?
What are you doing? Yeah.
And one of them had a really huge ring. And I have like a dent on my forehead to this day of this guy's ring, where he dented my forehead with his ring. And that's super disrespectful. And I was bleeding and the blood went all the way down.
Oof.
And I walked. Well, what happened was they tried to steal my cane. And
Right.
I held onto the cane with no problems. Even 3 guys couldn't steal my cane. I was like, I don't think so. Not going to happen. So these were very short individuals. Anyway,
Like how short? I'm 5'7". Like how short?
all of them were like 5 feet tall.
Okay, so I still tower over them a bit.
So I walked
Yeah.
up to a cop. I said, hey, these guys punched me and you can see the blood. And the first cop laughed at me. Ha ha ha, nice Halloween costume. He thought he was fake because everyone has fake blood on their face.
Yeah.
So I walked up to the second cop. I said, hey, and finally a cop believed me. And they said, who did it? And I said, at this point, they walked away. But as I said, there they are. And they handcuffed them for like 5 minutes. And I asked a guy walking by for a photograph. So I finally got that photograph. And
Wow,
here's the
yeah.
photograph. I'll show the photograph right here. So this is the 3 guys handcuffed. And I'm there. And the cop, of course, took away my cane, thinking it's a weapon. It's just a cane. I told the cop it's part of my costume. And the cop said, no photographs. But it's too late because I already got the photograph. And here it is. So in the end, I got the photograph. And on my way back to the hotel, some cops were like, oh, nice costume. Huh? Yeah. So, I mean, it was an okay time, but come with a friend. Don't go by yourself. I did invite my roommates if they wanted to come. None of them wanted to go. But, I mean, if you don't get punched out, it's a pretty cool event. You know?
Yeah. No, John, I mean, so he
I
goes
would
as...
try not to say anything bad and try to say anything to get punched out.
All I did was ask for a photo. That's it. But I did ask probably 3 times.
So John ended up as a hero. I remember the photo, and I know he'll edit it in, but it's of himself.
You got to see it.
No, but it's yeah, I saw it. It's in the previous video that he did a long time ago, but it's 3 like imposter droogs, and then him. I mean, they're like in handcuffs, if I remember right.
Mhm.
And then John's just not in handcuffs, just looking up like the winner, completely.
It's a pretty good photo. It's like
It's
one of the
awesome.
best photos. Yeah.
So
It
it's
tells the
kind of
whole
like a
story.
scene from the movie itself, almost.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I did get a photo with a female droog, so that was a highlight. At least a female
Wow.
droog. She had a British accent. She was actually British.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
And,
cool.
I got a picture with her, so that was pretty cool.
Hmm.
She didn't mind the photo at all.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, I can
So
tell
we
you the most watched video of November was Pyramidical Podcast number 9. And I just got this email.
Oh,
It did
cool.
have, 1,800 views, 6 subscribers joined. So,
Nice.
I mean, it is helping out. The podcast is helping out here and there. I mean, it's just for
Yeah.
fun. We don't care about huge numbers, but we wouldn't
No.
mind an energy drink sponsorship or anything. I mean,
I mean, if there are any energy drinks, we need power and fuel.
Yeah. As long as
To
it's
do
not Red
this.
Bull. I don't know about y'all, but Red Bull, I am not a big fan of.
I'm not a big fan. John is a huge fan, unfortunately.
I'm a huge fan
or
of
fortunately.
whoever
I mean,
says
I will guzzle it, but it's not my
What?
favorite.
You'll guzzle it, but you're not favorite.
I
Oh my
will
God.
drink it, but it's not my favorite.
I'll guzzle it, but it's not my favorite.
You only had one Red Bull in your life?
Just
Me,
one.
yeah,
And it was at a bar in Galveston, believe it or not. A swim up bar.
really.
It's a nice place, but
So both of
Yeah,
you
they're
have only
okay.
had one Red Bull.
I've only had one. I know that. Yeah, one full one. Yeah, I've had sips of other ones. I remember my friend gave me a shot of. There was a big trend when I was in like grad school, and it was Red Bull and vodka. I think people still probably have it.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And
they
it's-
do.
Yeah, and it was okay, but it was like I didn't like that mixture of up and down. It was just too much. But I never tried a Red Bull on it. I tried one Red Bull on its own, and it did give me a lot of energy. And it was a sugar-free Red Bull, actually. I don't know what's in it. I think it's like caffeine and taurine. So it's almost like
I
the same.
used to know the ingredients.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I've never been I
I've had a
drink
Red Bull and
basically
vodka.
the thing I've been I do are these little guys.
The
And
Starbucks
again,
ones. See, those are
these
good.
Starbucks double espresso shots, and unfortunately, they do wake you up in the morning quite because I work quite early and I have to get up really early, and that helps. But in college, I was drinking like 5 a day, and it was expensive habit. Those things aren't cheap, so I was drinking like 5 a day. And I would
Oh,
be up,
wow.
and then I thought, I'll just get, in addition to coffees and teas, double black teas, and all this caffeine was in me. And I just couldn't sleep at night. And I started having like panic attacks and like anxiety attacks. I couldn't figure out what it was. And like, people at the doctors would say, "What did you do? Drugs?" They always assumed it was drugs. And I was like, no. But then I realized caffeine is a drug.
Mhm.
It is.
So you got to be careful with that stuff, those energy drinks, I think.
I drank 1 cup of coffee this morning, and I can prove it is because I usually drink 3 in the morning, and just 1 because we were running low, and I was already feeling the withdrawal.
Really? Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, Jordan, you have natural energy. I think John, you have like you both of you have this battery power of you. Like John, I'll give you a specific example. John and I were supposed to investigate the grist mill, and we did. But unfortunately, I did not have a car in California at the time. And John was in California, and he said, "Oh, we're gonna go investigate." He thought I was in Santa Barbara, which was not that far, about an hour drive maybe from where he was. But I had moved to San Diego, which is another I don't know 4 or 5 hours away. And so he drove all the way down, picked me up.
Well, you were in Encinitas. That's where I picked you up.
Yeah, well, yeah. And so he picked me up in Encinitas and drove all the way back to the grist mill, which is above Santa Barbara. And this is about 5 hours. And then another 2 hours there, setting up different mics, the whole investigation, packed it up, went back, drove me back to San Diego. and was up the whole time and alert completely. And I was trying to I was like in and out of sleep. I was like,
No,
"Ooh,
you're trying to. Yeah, I would
it
have
was
been the
so
same.
early." But he drove me, and then he drove all the way back from San Diego back to his place, and then back to like Arizona or whatever, wherever you were living at the time. So it was like this incredible energy that like there was like nonstop, and like I wish I had that. Like I don't
Saw
like.
someone in a Tesla sleeping while driving on that trip.
What?
They were sleeping on auto drive.
Oh wow!
It was like 5 a.m. or something, and maybe they thought no one would notice. I noticed.
Wow.
I'm surprised he didn't call the cops on him.
They were on
He's
their
not the type.
work or something.
Okay. Yeah, and San Diego has the Whaley House over there. They have a place like a city that's built on top of graves, so they've got their own tie. I think it's San Diego that does it, but they have their own haunted history too, especially with the
Absolutely.
Whaley House.
The whole coast of California is built on a bunch of different haunted lands,
Yeah,
especially
I mean
LA.
you got San Andreas Fault. You've got all kinds of super conductive energy over there.
The redwood forest. I mean, it's
Yep.
just it's a whole coast. California is like you forget about it, but it's a state, but it's the whole coast of the West Coast pretty much. And so it's like very varied. And even if you go inland a little bit, it's like there's all kinds of out of the way places that are just filled. I mean, I think unexplored territories. If John found the grist mill, there's got to be like many more type of grist mills around there
Oh
that people
yeah.
haven't discovered.
Yeah, I have a sense for where spirits hang out, and I have a sense that they're hanging out on the mountains, on the top of hills. And Raymond Bayless wrote a lot of books on ghosts and poltergeists and spirits, and he has a story where he talked about how there was a hiker at the top of the mountain, and he's hiking, I think at sunrise or sunset, I can't remember, but it was not the brightest of light. And so this hiker hears someone running towards him on the top of a mountain or maybe a very tall hill. And there's no one there. Someone invisible ran right past him. So I think spirits do hang out on the tops of mountains. Aleister Crowley did say that, and I'm not a fan of Crowley by any means. But I think
I've heard of him.
I think that might be true. So I do want to do some ghost investigations on top of some hills, some mountains.
Well, they do
nearby.
have the Superstition Mountains where a lot of hikers have gone missing, and I heard of it on Daffy Duck's Quackbusters of all places, and I thought, it was just make believe, and then I got a guest that gave me his when I was working at a hotel at LaBerge. He gave me his driver's license, and guess what it said? The Superstition Mountains. I'm like,
No
it
way.
does exist.
Yeah, I used to live like an hour or maybe an hour and a half away from the Superstition Mountains. I've driven past many times. And so that would be a cool place to investigate, most definitely.
Yeah, Twins Paranormal's already been up there. Paranormal Quest, a couple of paranormal people I follow. They're way more professional than me, but I would love to work with them too one day. It's a dream. But I want to be the first woman to actually investigate haunted places by herself.
Well, you already are. You're already doing it.
Because I'm like, these bad spirits, I've been through enough hell in my life to know these bad spirits are weak. Like John just said, they're a lot weaker than they appear to be. So it's like you go in, like I said, you go in with a positive mind, especially in Eastern State Penitentiary. They can't do, deed to you.
I think there's a lot of spirits try to pretend to be more powerful than they are.
They do. They're
And
just,
and
they
scary.
we are in life as we were in death. We are in death as we were in life. We're pranksters are going to be pranksters.
They do prank quite a bit.
Oh, yes, they do. Even the ones in this house do.
You have investigated Galveston.
Galveston quite a bit.
What can you tell me about it? Was the site of a Civil War
The Battle of
battle.
Galveston.
Yeah. Tell us
You
about
can't barricade an island. One of the ships came, the Harriet Lane came all the way from New Orleans, and it was under the command of David Farragut and Benjamin Butler. William B. Renshaw of the Westfield was in Port Lavaca, Texas, which is funny because that's where my mother grew up.
that. Wow.
You know, like of all places, he was in Port Lavaca.
Wow.
But he ran above some sandbars because Port Lavaca, it's coast. You can't park really anywhere. If there's gonna be sandbars, you can run into them. You think he would have learned the first time, but he ran about around sandbars 5 times.
Wow.
And there are Civil War soldiers actually buried in the Port Lavaca cemetery. I just did some digging, and I do this almost 2 years after my granny passes away. I'm like, boy, am I late to the
Wow.
game or what? But point, Renshaw goes to Galveston, and Farragut sends the Harriet Lane to Galveston. So there's 8 Union ships, and William is the head of all 8 Union ships. And these are paddle wheel ships. This is when the paddle wheels ships were starting to come
What's
about.
a paddle wheel? What is that?
Like a wheel steamship, like where the wheel's like on the side. That's
Do they actually paddle it? Like,
I can't remember exactly what they do, but I just know that this is like the time they were starting to come.
okay,
It was up.
right.
Mechanical ships were up and coming. They didn't really get too big till the Titanic set sail in 1912. So there was a lot. This is the kind of war the Confederacy did win, and there was a death on the Harriet Lane. I can't remember which, but it was I used to know the actual ship that ran into the paddle wheel of the Harriet Lane, but I know it was a Confederate ship. Renshaw blew up the Westfield by accident. He actually blew it up, and
by accident. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, it was already damaged, and they actually got it to a rowboat, safety boat, and trailed. That they tied a rope to the boat and just trailed just to see if it was going to sink or not. And lo and behold, some caught fire and it blew up with Renshaw on it.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah, that was tragic.
So
But
there's a lot of bloody trauma there.
yes, and the 1900 storm, that was the big storm. And I've had quite a few experiences on the Strand itself, especially at night. I was going towards Pier 21, and it was right after I did a tour. I always put my headphones on and take a walk before I leave. And right when I was passing I think it was Peanut Butter Warehouse, going towards the pier, something, and I'm the only one. It's dead. I'm the only one there. I'm the only one. The bars are closing. Bruchacho's is probably the only one open at the time, and Bruise Brothers not too far down. But well, I felt something bump right into me, like come running up, and it hit me right in the back, and my butt goes forward like that. And I jump around. I'm like crouching tiger, hidden dragon. I'm ready to fight.
Oh my God.
There's nobody there. I mean, this was a direct hit.
Crouching tiger.
Yeah, that's the best way I can describe the story. And the next day, my back, my tailbone hurt pretty bad.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it hurt me.
No, they can physically hurt you.
Yeah, no, it hurt. And then I think as before I started the tours, another one, and I have not told this one yet, and it still gets me to this day. There's this guy. I was walking the Strand. It was my first time I debuted during the tour, and I was nervous, so I was walking the Strand. And this guy was trying to flirt with me. I didn't get a good vibe off of him. I was trying to, I was nice, but trying to get him away from me. But he kept following me. I turned around, go back, and right when we got to where Shark Shack is, it was still Mediterranean Chef. I literally felt something lift my arm, this arm up, and literally, and I kid y'all not, pull me across the street.
Whoa.
Somebody was trying to save my butt.
Do you think it save you from that guy?
from that guy. Yeah, and I was doing everything I could to get him. I told him I was married at the time because I was. I was
Probably
trying to say
me.
everything
No, it's
that I was not interested.
probably me. Probably me being
But
like, Jordan, no.
But somebody did it. Somebody did. I don't know who it was. I can't tell you who it was. I just know I just felt the pressure of somebody grabbing my arm and pulling me across the street, pulling me away from
No,
him.
that's not. Yeah,
And
no,
yeah,
you
this
get
is the
those
first time.
intuitions
This is the first time I've told this
when
story
you're
to
in
anybody.
danger. No,
Yeah.
that's cool. I mean, you're a beautiful woman, so you get hit on, and
Quite
I'm not a
often.
beautiful woman. I'm not a beautiful. I mean, some people call me a beautiful woman, and
Even when I'm not in
no, they
makeup and
don't.
I'm just in a button-down shirt and jeans, I still get hit on.
No, I know. So you're a
like-
woman, so you get hit on forever. So like that doesn't surprise me, but what does surprise me is that there was someone protecting you.
Yeah,
In
I don't know
some
who it was,
sense.
but I thank them. I thank them.
But
even to
whatever
this
it
day.
is, it's like this sixth sense that goes on, that there's a danger and this an unsettling feeling that comes over you, and that you got to get out of there like right away.
Mhm.
And so you did, and so that's good because
Yeah, I'll know somebody's not good for me. Like if they're good, my body will pull towards them. But if
Yeah.
they're not, like I'll have this sinking feeling.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be here, or I'm not supposed to be around this person.
I get the
They
same
always-
feeling. I
always
think
tell
we
you,
just don't
listen to your
express
body.
it. Yeah, we got to
Always
listen to
your
our
body.
intuition.
Male or female, listen to your intuition. Everybody has it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
It won't lie.
I think that's right. All right. Well, I think that we've had a fun. I mean,
This was a blast.
You got to come back, Jordan.
Definitely.
I think John.
And
I think that's okay if Jordan comes back.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
I had
All right,
fun,
cool.
John. It was a
The
good
best
pleasure meeting
episode
you
we've
for
had
sure,
yet.
and I definitely want to help.
I'm so glad I got to introduce both of you together, because you guys are both like on the same level to me and good friends and talented in different ways, but can collaborate
Yeah,
in some
and maybe
different
one
ways.
day
And
we can all work together, do a ghost hunt together, and collaborate.
that would be amazing. Yeah, and we can do that. We can figure that out, and that's definitely possible. So, but let's get some final thoughts. I'll leave it with you, Jordan, first, and then John. Ladies first.
It was amazing, and I had a great time, and I appreciate you guys having me on, and I can't wait to do it again.
Oh, we love you, Jordan. You're the best. John?
Well, thank you for watching. Here we have Pyramart.
There it
Well,
is.
goodbye. Thank you for watching the Pyramidal Podcast, episode 12. And we appreciate it. We appreciate you hanging in there and supporting us. More episodes coming soon. I'm going to work on the movie. I'm going to work on some t-shirts too. Thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, all the comments. Even if it's just one or two comments, even if it's just one or two likes, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you for sticking with us. More episodes coming soon on the Pyramidal Podcast. Be soon.
Be seeing you. All right.
Good seeing you.
Goodbye, everybody. We're going to go.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Jordan and John.
Thank y'all.
You've been watching, what's the name of your program again? PYRAMIDICAL. All about the known and the unknown. All about the good and the bad. You can catch me next time you come in town.